Hi, it's Dave Kurlan, and this is my rant of the day. And I've been winding up all day. Yesterday, you might have seen my post about the 21 Sales Core Competencies and how those competencies have changed in the last 8 years. Some of the best salespeople have gotten better, but a lot more of the best salespeople have gotten worse. And I tried to answer those questions yesterday. And I'm really thrilled with the engagement we had in that article. I'm thrilled with all the other sales experts that chimed in with their thoughts. The first one that caught my attention was Adam Boyd, who said or asked, "What's the cause?" So I had theorized some of the causes in my article, but it wasn't comprehensive. It's a blog article. I can't write a book. So other sales experts were kind enough to offer their thoughts. So here's some of what I heard. It's Zoom. Yeah, Zoom's the reason the good salespeople have gotten worse because they're using Zoom instead of taking face-to-face meetings. Well, it's situational. If your territory is 3 miles down the road and you're using Zoom, that's stupid. But if your territory is global or national, then you need to use Zoom. Otherwise, you'll be spending all your time not meeting with clients and customers. The second thing I saw was not enough companies using BDRs. BDR is also situational. If you've got a product that's easy to demo and your BDRs can just make calls and schedule demos, and the product demonstration is powerful enough so that people will just buy it after that, sure, use BDRs. But for most people, nobody has anything that's such a slam dunk that a mere demo would cause somebody to buy it. And if you've got BDRs spending all week to book a meeting and a half, and then have a salesperson, half of whom suck anyhow, going on those meetings, that's just not a formula for success. One sales expert said, "Yeah, all of that. The only thing that's changed is excuses have become more elaborate." And I pointed out that what has become more elaborate is the fact that it's the C-suite and the senior sales leaders that are making the excuses even more than the salespeople themselves. And he said, yeah, that's what's elaborate. Same excuses, but elaborate that it's coming from leaders. And why would they be making excuses? Because if they don't make excuses and they take responsibility, then something has to change, and there's a general reluctance to change anything. Another sales expert said sales leaders are guilty of leaving salespeople alone. And that's true. There needs to be more engagement. The number one reason why salespeople leave, and the only people I care about leaving are good salespeople. If bad salespeople want to leave, let them. There's the door. See ya. Go do this for somebody else. Better yet, do this for one of my competitors. But the number one reason why good salespeople leave is that they're being ignored. Their sales leaders aren't paying enough attention to them. They don't want to be on an island. They don't want to be on their own. If they did, they'd start their own business. Another sales expert said complacency. But what is complacency? That's when you get lazy. That's when you've built a business, you've built a profit center, you have a customer book, you have a group of accounts that you manage, and you can live off those existing accounts. But that's not new. That was just as much an issue in 2017 as it is today. Another one said lack of coaching. True. I mean, sales managers, even with the best professional sales training from the outside, sales managers are the glue that has to hold it together. They need to coach to our content. They need to coach to the sales process. They need to coach every day. They need to get their salespeople to practice. They need to role play with their salespeople. They need their salespeople to role play with other salespeople. And that is generally just not getting done. And we know what the numbers are. Sales managers who coach see a 28% increase in revenue. And when they coach consistently and it's effective coaching, it's a 42% increase in revenue. Why? Doesn't that mean anything to anybody? Another sales expert said, well, it's because they're all hiring the wrong salespeople. All true. Companies, more specifically sales leaders, have a terrible track record at hiring salespeople. It's at best hit or miss with an emphasis on miss. But that's been going on since long before 2017, too. And that's why more than half and as much as 82% of salespeople fail to hit quota. Another sales expert said it's burnout. Maybe, but there was burnout in 2017. Burnout's not a new thing. I would have bought burnout in 2022 and 2023 after having to work 5 times harder and longer to get the same results because of the COVID lockdowns. Another sales expert said it's lack of meaningful data. Why don't we do what they do in baseball? Baseball, it's me. Baseball has sabermeticians doing sabermetrics, which is basically the analysis of all the incredible data and all of the different metrics and categories that sabermeticians have come up with. But the coaching staff uses that data to make their players better. They share that data to make the players better. Now, some of the CRMs come up with incredible data from inside the CRM. But are sales managers using it? Are they pushing their CRM application to produce that data? Are they doing anything with the data at a pipeline review and a coaching conversation to say, well, here's where your opportunities are getting hung up, or look what's happened to your win rate, or look what's happened to your average deal size, or look what's happened to your time and stage. Deals are getting hung up right here between second and third base. And another sales expert said it's because salespeople aren't being authentic. And in not being authentic, they're not providing human value. True, but that was going on in 2017 as well. The bottom line is everybody's got reasons why these changes occurred, but who's doing anything about it? CEOs need to be pushed to make the right kinds of changes to improve their sales culture and their sales teams and their sales organizations' effectiveness. Having 82% of reps not make quota, it's unacceptable. Having all of these delayed closings where deals get pushed off another quarter is unacceptable. Having win rates dwindling is unacceptable. The answers are out there, the expertise is out there. The sales experts are willing to come in and help. There's lots of things that we can all do. But CEOs, senior sales leaders, stop letting your egos get in the way. Stop being so defensive. Stop making excuses and say, okay, let's make things better. Let's really make things better, not lip service, not write out a check so I can check off a box and say we provided training, but let's do culture changing, sales transformational training and developing and coaching that makes the kind of difference where your revenue does go up 28 to 42%, or at minimum 33%. I know that didn't make any sense, but if you've been reading my articles, it would. I've gone on too long. That's my rant of the day. It's Dave Kurlan signing off.